Hello everyone and welcome to my ultimate season reset guide. This is going to give you guys all the preparations that you're going to need to get an advantage in the season that you're going to be going into. This could be either the Burning Stars reset or even the Stars Reignited. All these tips are going to work throughout any of the seasons, so stay tuned with me, MrSneakyy. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe for more daily Call of Dragons content with me, MrSneakyy, an official Call of Dragons content creator. So today we're going to be going over everything that I can give you tip-wise as the ultimate advantage system in the new season. So when you're trying to prepare to give yourself that bit of a head start compared to all the other players that have clearly not watched any of our videos in this community, you should have a clear advantage on them. So what we're going to do is cover quickly what is going to be reset here, and this is a lot of important stuff that we can be taking advantage of right now before the reset happens. So as you can see, your CP items are going to be going, as well as your XP books, dust, your levels and your artifacts, as well as your heroes, any prestige, merits, elixirs, and obviously the Dragontrials progress. So we all know how a season reset works, and if you don't, I will add an info card somewhere around here to give you guys a nice little click that you can watch, and it gives you the ultimate reset guide on how a reset does finally work. So what we can do is, with those systems knowledge, we can see what things that we can take advantage of. Because when you look at certain items, you can notice, for example, continent maps also get scrapped at the end of the season. But obviously, there's some hidden tricks revolved around these. We can also look at other items in like the dark keys. You'll notice that these do not have any sort of brackets to like notify you about a season reset. So let's go into some tricks to prepare for. So what we're going to go over first is how you can be waiting on your investments, and the best way to invest properly and prepare for the first season. So when we come to your hero section, this is going to be one of the first things you can be doing right now to get ahead of the competition. So if you're in the end of your season and you're obviously waiting around and you're looking for something to do, one big advice that you could be doing right now is getting all of your heroes to 4 stars. And the reason why is, in the new season, you're gonna get introduced to some new mechanics. So for example, you're gonna get introduced to 5 and 6 star heroes. You're also gonna get introduced to 5 and 6 star artifacts. So this is where we can start taking advantage of some of all that dust you might have been accumulating up through the days, as well as the XP. So all you want to be doing right now is getting everything to 4 stars if you can, and obviously make sure, if you haven't already got it to 5111, that is your first priority. If you haven't got it to 5111, my advice is as follows. In the preparation stage, you have 2 options. You can keep them at 1 star and obviously sacrifice it, or what you could do is still level these guys up to unlock the 4 stars on them, knowing that on the season reset, what will happen is it'll go back to level 1, meaning you can level up that first skill again. So that is a nice little investment time window that you can have to fix all of your heroes. And that is, again, applicable to anyone right now. So if you have a hero that's fully unlocked and they, for example, don't have the maxed out first skill, and you're trying to obviously finish this skill off without wasting any skill points, just remember, in the season reset, when you hit level 1, you will only have access to the first skill. It's only until you hit level 10, the second skill will then unlock, and then obviously level 20 for the third, and level 30 for the fourth. So this is why you can take advantage of this right now and get your heroes leveled up to 4 stars and get their heads ready to max out that first skill when the season resets. And this again is applicable to your artifacts, guys. So try and get as many of your artifacts that you're going to be using all the time to 4 stars. It's going to help you in the early game be able to pick an artifact that you always love and use to be part of your main roster, and it's obviously going to give you that bit of an advantage killing all that content. So that is the first little bit of tips and advice on the investments, but let's go over the next section. The next section is all about troops. So from what we know so far, you are currently in Season 1 Burning Stars. Anyone who's watching this for the first time, that is your first season. And once you go through a migration, you will unlock the Burning Stars area. And this is where now you come out of the tutorial, and instead of having maybe only 70% of the content, you get the extra 30. So we already discussed the 5 and 6 star heroes, and another addition to this is your troop capacity. That is correct. So right now, as a lot of players will know, you have 150k troop capacity, but this will already increase all the way up to 250k. So what this means is, if you are trying to make sure you can always field one full march no matter what, you always want to make sure, if you click into your area and hit the legions tab right here, you have at least 250,000 of each troop type, and that will allow you to field one full march no matter what with any pairing in the next season. So if you're looking for something to do right now, obviously you could be pumping some of your speed ups, not all of them, but some of your speed ups into training, and try and get that required troop count ready, so when you go into the next season, you're not chasing anyone and you're already ahead. So let's now go into some amazing secret tips that a lot of players don't know about. Obviously, there's some hidden gems that you can do that will give you a big advantage in the new season. One of them is to do with your CP. So as you guys know, if we go and check our inventory right now and go all the way down into the CP area, obviously the CP will be scrapped at the end of season. But there is a way in every season there you can get an advantage in this. And we're going to showcase it for the first time here. We've already given it out as a comment on Mr. Chisgo's channel, since he did miss out this big important tip for all players to use, free to play or spender. So as you guys know, a season reset could occur during the week. So this would mean what would happen is, when you're in your server right now, it could be a Monday, Tuesday, and on Wednesday or Thursday could be, for example, when you will reset and merge against the other servers that you'll be fighting against. And when it does that, obviously it does a full reset of everything that is going to be going. So with that in consideration, what you can be doing is saving your special CP in the bazaar. That is correct. If you go to the store every Monday, your CP recovery always resets, as everyone knows. And most people will be buying this on a Monday just because it's out of force of habit. You know, it's almost like you become a robot and you just buy it off reset and you just start using it, which obviously a lot of players do. But when you're in your final week and you're about to migrate within that week, you should not buy your basic CP, because if you buy it, you're going to be forced to use it there and then to level up maybe your last level of heroes at the end of the season. But this could be used as a more advantage position. So what we can be doing is, as soon as that reset happens and we land level 1 with all our heroes back reset in the new kingdom, and we're already back to level 40 or level 40 member caps on your alliance, and everyone's back to, you know, square one, if you want to say it in the level terms, what you could be doing is instantly buying the basic CP recovery. And this is obviously going to give you 1,500 extra CP for your account instantly. So what it will allow you to do when you first spawn in is obviously empty your CP. That, depending on your research and tech, is going to be different. You could empty 1,800 like mine if you have it all fully kitted out, and then get an additional 1,500 instantly to give yourself that bigger push and edge in the future. You can do the exact same tactic as well if you are a spender. Make sure you do not claim any monthly packs until you have migrated. That is correct. If you can save these on the day, obviously you might wake up, wait And then when you reset, you're going to be able to reclaim these and get that extra little 200 CP here, as well as some bit of extra goodies that you would normally obtain from it. But having that extra CP again will give you in total now 1800 bonus CP at the start of the season. And that is very important, guys, as you know, because you're going to be wanting to level up your heroes. And by leveling up those heroes off the patrols at level 10 as fast as possible, it will allow you to then progress into the next stage and the next tip of your preparation. So the next stage is the Dragontrials, and try and honestly take advantage of this right now if you are stumpering and not really doing much with it. You should be trying to complete all of this as fast as possible, and even if you haven't, if you've not completed it in your first season, you are missing out on a ton of free rewards, because when you go into the next season, this will reset, and as you notice here, the rewards are different. So make sure you claim those rewards in that first season and complete as much as you can in the Dragontrials. With this, you can obviously going into the store, and your Dragontrials coins honestly do stay between seasons. These do not reset. We've not seen them disappear so far when we've gone across accounts, so you can still buy your Indis tokens between seasons. This also might give you guys a little bit of time if you might not want to focus on Indis right now. You could be going into your store and buying on all of these free resource and training speed ups through the free daily reset. You could only spin this one more time in my eyes, just to waste 50 coins, just to get one more refresh to see if there's any more resources or speed ups if you have enough dragon glass to obviously purchase everything. And the reason why I'm suggesting this again is it's going to allow your account to now stock up on a bunch of speed ups and a bunch of resources that you wouldn't obviously been picking while you've been waiting or pushing in the start of the season. So that is the next tip, and we're going to go into some more nuanced stuff, a bit of a more laid back approach, and one area that I know a lot of people do despise, but it's something that you should be taking advantage of every season before the reset happens. Scouting, scouting, scouting. Yes, it is the next area, and this is something every player should do. And I know you guys hate doing it, but I'm going to give you all the reasonings why right now. Right now, you could, if you haven't obviously missed all of your map, you should dismiss all of it, because if you demiss all of it, what will happen is it will give you the ability to claim all the rewards. And the cool thing is, once you claim every single reward in this area, and even claim the region exploration progress for 100% and claim those gems, next season you're going to be able to reclaim these rewards. So you can see 100%, you're going to get the 50 gems and all these extra resources, but if you've noticed, you're going to be able to get all the other requirements, and that is where this tip already lies in. So make sure, no matter what player you are, you always go through your other tab. You complete this within your first season, your next season you're going to get a full restock, and you can see how much you're going to gain. This gives you a bunch of speed ups, a bunch of resources, and the cool thing about supplies as well as the different adventure camps, they do scale. So if players have not noticed, at the start of the game they might be getting only tier 1 or maybe tier 2 troops. But if, for example, we go back into our main building and go into a scout area and find maybe one of these adventure camps, they might give us the option to claim some different types of units. And by clicking through these, again, this is going to help you grow your account for free. And this is what you should be doing before every reset. So if you're in a downtime right now and you're looking for something to do, make sure you have 100% of this area, because by doing that, it's gonna again allow you to gain a bunch of progress and a bunch of supplies, as well as different resource and speed ups for your account. You can also do as well all the treasure map fragments here for your areas. You can also do all different types of caves. You can also do all the villages again that are required in the other stage. So make sure you do this. Once you complete all those areas, you're going to be able to again get them in the next season and get some more goodies. So that is another big, I no longer process for an account, but you should be taking advantage of it right now in the preparation phase for your account before you go into that reset. The next area is all about your keys. Obviously, everyone is wondering, should we save our keys and should we not? And to be honest, there's two ways you can approach this. And I'm going to give you both, obviously, scenarios, because that's the type of streamer and YouTuber I am, giving you all the best content so far. So if you've enjoyed it so far in the video, remember, hit that like button and hit the subscribe for more daily Call of Dragons content with me, MrSneakyy. But when it comes into your keys, what could you do? And there's two options you can do for obvious reasons. You can hoard all of your keys or you can spend them all. And the benefit for both are as follows. If you save all of your keys in the next season, what this allows you to do is obviously draw a bunch of artifacts. And if you've got an artifact that you do not own for the first time, obviously this will allow you to create a pop-up bundle. And those pop-up bundles will give you more keys for those artifact draws, as well as, more importantly, the dust to push the levels even quicker and faster. So obviously that is more of a spender route, and that is the reason why I said it first, because obviously a lot of spenders are wondering, should I save my keys or should I not? It is up to you end of the day. If you plan to open them, you remember, if you open any brand new artifact, when you do open it, you're going to get a pop-up bundle, which would be more beneficial in the new season. So if you want to take advantage of it, that is the big tip for spenders. But if you are a free-to-play player and you're not going to be spending any gems or money, you can start popping your keys. There has been no additional artifacts currently that has been announced, obviously, as we know of from the information from the Call of Dragons devs that we're able to talk about. And we also know from current news that none of the heroes that are currently out in Season 2, which is the Fraegar and Syndrion, which we will cover in a moment, don't you worry, they will not obviously be available in the gold chest. So if you're trying to get a certain artifact or hero, open your keys right now, because obviously the more artifacts and heroes that might get added to the gold chest obviously dilutes the pool. And that is a very, very important informational tip to remember when you're considering about using any of your keys. Remember, the pool for the universal artifact currently stands as follows. So if you're trying to get that Phoenix Eye, or if you are still trying to get maybe Shadow Blades or Soulland Blade, for example, or maybe any of the Garrison or Rally artifacts that's not obviously in the Forge of Light event, and you're trying to get it through here, the current table is as shown. So this is going to give you the best chances of getting those sort of artifacts. So you can pop them right now, or you can wait and obviously potentially get more future artifacts added into these tables, and it will dilute the probability. So obviously it will make it harder to obtain certain artifacts that you might care about, like the Phoenix Eye. So just remember, that is the trade-off. If you do save your keys and you're waiting for maybe a newer artifact, or compare it to other players that will pop their keys right now and try and get the big boost ready for the new season. So I hope that makes sense when it comes to the artifacts. And now we will go straight into the heroes, so we can sum it all together in this one section. So as we know of currently, there is two new heroes. We've got Fraegar and we have Syndrion, which are both archer-based heroes. Both heroes are exceptionally powerful in their own right. Syndrion is all about normal attack damage and actually amplifying the amount of normal hits that you can do. We're going to do a full proper video on him soon, since we've already done a first impressions on him and we've not given obviously our full full opinion on him now once we've understood more about how he works. But you can get access to Syndrion in the next season, and if you are looking at getting Syndrion, you can get him in 2 ways. The first way is through the Strongest Lord event. This is an event, as many players know, similar to Rise of Kingdoms in the Mightiest Governor. You will have to compete against other players in that server for your hero. This is again a hero that is located on season 2, so this could be either in your hero pool or it'll be only available in the Stars Reignited campaign. We don't know yet until you guys in the global servers do go through the process for the first time to confirm any speculations or assumptions any YouTuber, including myself, make. So I hope that makes it clear for you guys. But there is an additional way to earn him. We've got the ability to earn him through the Wheel of Destiny event. And this was a special one-time event that allows you to spin a wheel and you could earn either a unlock on Syndrion, Bakshi, Garwood, or Fraegar. And in that, we did a video for it, and we'll try and add another card somewhere around here on the Wheel of Destiny video so you can see what we're talking about there. And obviously, we unlocked our Fraegar from it. So moving from Syndra, we're going to talk about quickly, again, Fraegar. She is an archer-based hero. She is a flying, also subtype, allowing you to use the Wilderberg faction now as a unit type. Now, with Craig as a flying marksman combo. Obviously, we can mention other stuff like Fear with her as a permanent flying march. But you can also gain Fraegar in the same way. You can gain her through the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Destiny event, as well as the Wheel of Fortune, which is also known as the Lucky Spin. So just remember, the Wheel of Destiny, you can unlock your Fraegar, and if you're looking at the Lucky Spin, it's going to obviously cost you 700 gems per ticket when you do that. And then, obviously, when you unlock her, we can go into the Universal Hero tokens, which is going to be in the next section. To summarize this area, what we're going to talk about is the investment now for heroes, and prepare yourself if you should be investing or not. Because again, in this season, you're going to get access to some new heroes, as well as potentially another 2 heroes that we do not know of yet. But from the announcement that they made back in, I believe, April or May, they did state there would be 4 new heroes. We do know there's 2 already here, so we're waiting for the other 2. So if you are a mage player, you could obviously unlock Fraegar as potentially another march to put alongside your Nico for a behemoth slaying march, and you could put this behind any other march like your Husk or either Fear if you have, as well as Kanara that you would unlock in Season 1, and you can make a PvP march. So this is something that you could optionally invest into when you're coming into the next season. Remember, this is a march that could be very powerful, but there's other heroes to come, so it is up to you to save your gems. And if you want to choose to invest into these heroes, obviously that's down to you. If you want my opinion, Archer heroes or players like myself that are going to be playing Archer mainly, I would definitely unlock Fraegar. And if you're able to unlock Syndrion, potentially in the 2nd or 3rd Strongest Lord event once it rolls around, that would be your best timing, because again, the first Strongest Lord most likely is going to be swamped by a massive amount of players, with all the whales spending heavily trying to get him for the first unlock. So I hope that makes sense with the heroes, what you're going to be getting in the future, as well as what you could be doing right now in terms of investment. So let's go into the next section. So this comes down to your seasonal hero tokens. Yes, so a lot of people will be wondering, what do these do? And we're going to explain the differences right now, so you as a player can prepare, again, ready for an investment in the future. When you go into the next season, you will either again get access potentially to the next seasonal heroes. And if you do, you'll notice they have a S2 icon. And that also means any of the universal tokens you'll be earning in that season, you will have noticed will be called a Season 2 custom token. And the difference obviously between a Season Custom 1 token and a 2 token is as plainly as follows. A Season 1 token can only be used on heroes from the Season 1. So that's Valen, Nico, Bakshi, Nika, not the Indis, Fear, Kanara, Garwood, Emrys, and Madeline. So if you've got any of those heroes, the custom token can only be used for them. So it allows you, again, not to feel pressured about investing. So in the future, even if you've been saving all of your heads right now and waiting for someone who you could be pairing or going for the #1 match, for example, you can still do that. And by doing that, what it allows you to do is save all your Season 1 heads and keeps them ready for example, if there is some new amazing cavalry heroes, you could then, for example, level up your Bakshi and Emrys and then use your legendary hero tokens, which are available to be used on any hero in the game. This is the difference between a legendary hero token and a season custom token. So this could be then used on any of the future heroes to allow your Season 1 heroes and the future heroes to work in harmony. So if you're looking at should I be spending my heads or not, again, I'm going to leave that option up to you. For me, I would personally save your heads. Try and save them as long as possible, because if you're allowing your heroes to naturally grow through the gold chest system, unless it's a hero like Kanara or Madeline, for example, that's available on the lucky wheel, those heroes are going to naturally grow in strength. And when you can see the full roster of the new heroes, you're going to have a better idea of, shall I spend all my Season 1 hero tokens on mages, or on the archers, or on my infantry units, or on my cavalry units. So it'll make you guys in the global feel better by hoarding those heads. So if you're looking for advice, that is my advice on it. Take it if you want. Obviously, it's up to you. It is always your account and your decision at the end of the day if you want to use your tokens or do not use your tokens. So that is that section all covered in. And like we said, try and use these stars as soon as we can. Try and get all your heroes to 4 stars as a reminder in this area, because as you know, we're going to get access to 5 and 6 star heroes. So let's move on to the next area where we can get some cheeky little extras, which is some speed ups. So as you guys know, we're going to get a load of things scrapped, such as your elixirs and stuff. So make sure if you're going to be trying to get the most advantage, what you could be doing right now is setting up those duels. And by setting up a duel, you're going to be merit farming, and by merit farming, you're going to be able to go back into your alliance right now and obviously stock up on all the resources and speed ups. And by doing that, you can obviously use all the elixir you might have already stocked up on during the war and not let that go to waste. And it's obviously going to allow you then to get even more merits and finish buying up all these nice goodies and max out your resource and speed ups for your account. Another nice sneaky trip that we've left all the way to the end is through the scouting, and as we notice, you're going to get different rewards, and a really cool reward for players. If you're an ex-Rise of Kingdoms players, you will know this, but the continent maps, if you have demissed the entire map, you can now use these to gain a 5-minute speed up. So if you're looking for trying to get a bunch of speed up straight away, you can always opt into using all of those maps choices and then using them all in one go before the new season, and get all of those 5-minute speed ups. So a nice little tip and trick for you guys to take advantage of before that. And we're going to finish up the video with the next and final tip for the preparation for you guys to take advantage of and end the video. So my last major advice is the longest one, and it's the one which a lot of players dislike to do because it is considered the downtime for the current preparation phase for you guys in global until you wait for that division announcement. So right now, if you're in a very relaxed kingdom, what I would be doing is finding these high resource spots. If you're in an alliance, trying to find the zones that are not going to be obviously taken up right now and not a hot spot. And by finding these zones, you're going to be farming as hard as possible. And when you go into that next season, what you could be doing is already have 50, 60, 100, 200 million resources ready to go for allowing you to push in power events, to go to war and spend on healing, to also, you know, push training on troops. You can use these for a number of variety of things. So right now, try and hoard as much as you can and try and not spend any of your speed ups. A reason why I'm going to say right now not to use any speed ups and right now not to try and power up is because of your server. So if you're looking at from a preparation view as a kingdom now and maybe as an alliance and trying to get the best matchmaking as you can, the old system, as we know from Rise of Kingdoms, did work on some sort of power-based mechanic. So you can maybe assume something similar to work in here. So if you're going to try and get matched up again against some kingdoms that you want to beat, my best advice and the final tip of this video for the preparation of the season of video is to finally hoard everything that we've discussed on the video until the end, until you go into your first season reset. Because if you enter that kingdom and all of your alliance members, for example, are all 20 million or 30 million power, and that's going to match you against a similar version of kingdoms. And if those kingdoms have been powering up during that time to obviously be as strong as possible, obviously they're going to be wasted on their resources and their time management. So when you go then into the division and you go against and you fight them, next minute you can see who you're going against and being like, oh, they're only 20, 30 million power, and next minute your alliance all power up and hit that nasty 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 million power ranking that will then obviously in the next season determine the future of your kingdom. So if you're looking for that, try and get the best out of it. I would always try and hoard as much as you can until the next season. And again, the reason why I would always suggest this is, as you know, in the beginning of the season, everything resets, as we covered at the beginning of the season. So when you're trying to kill your patrols, obviously we're going to be killing the patrols from level 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to level 10 at the beginning. We're going to be killing all those patrols to level up your heroes as fast as possible. And then by doing that, we're going to have events. And those events are going to be the ways that you're going to be taking advantage of all the speed ups and the resources you've been hoarding compared to your opponents. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We're going to finish up the video here with my final area of advice when it comes to the season reset and what you can be doing to give you guys the best planning when it comes to the season. And that is going to be final area to sum up the video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's been a jam-packed area and we've covered a lot of different topics as well as different areas of using your account right now to gain the benefits as you can. So the final area is to do with planning. So as you can notice, as we've transitioned through this season preparation video, you'll have noticed we've gone from a investment side, where to invest and how you should be investing, into your time management side and preparation side, as you notice. And now we're going to go into the final section and the final point, which is the planning phase. And you should try to plan right now. And what I mean by planning, I mean plan your seasonal hero roster, because as you know, you're in the end of the game right now and you can see exactly the heroes that you have. So if you've got certain heroes awakened compared to other heroes that might only be 5-1-1-1, or other heroes that are not obviously awakened, you can see and gauge where they are at. And why this is important for you to prepare for, it means in the start of the season, as you guys know, these all level reset to level 1, as you can see down at the bottom. And what you want to do is plan your main 5 primary marches, and that by planning that start, it's going to give you honestly a massive advantage, because you're not going to be wondering who you should be picking, what's, you know, an if on you know, who should I be going with, and that all that time of, you know, questioning yourself is gonna cost you time, and you don't have time in the beginning phase. Because when you go through that beginning phase, if you've watched my Ultimate Season Reset guide video, you'll notice it is very hands-on. You go very hammer on your first day by doing a load of events, doing your Dragon Trials, doing your policies, doing everything in regards to that. And by having a solid strategy and plan, it's going to allow you, a player, to obviously take an advantage. So for me, I would always advise for players is always think of a 2-3 setup. And when I talk about a 2-3 setup, I talk about having a 2 frontline units and 3 backline units. And when we're talking about those terms, these are very simple terms that my community members have learned over time from watching obviously the live streams and content. But your frontline units are basically units that are infantry or cavalry based. These are the guys that are going to be taking the most amount of damage. These are your tanks or bruisers, if you want to call them, in different types of games. So you want to always try and dictate at least 2 of these characters as your main frontline. So as a free-to-play player, you can always depend on Eliana if you have her. Obviously, Eliana should be awakened by now, and if you haven't got Eliana awakened, this could be a very perfect time right now to finish up and skill her as a 5/5/5 hero with your with your alliance. And the reason why, again, for free-to-play players, this is going to give you a frontline unit that you can always match no matter what in the future with different units. So we can use Eliana as one frontline unit, for example, and we could use either Garwood or Madeline or even Nika as different infantry commanders here for our front line. And by having just either 2 of them picked or even just one of those picked, it's going to give us a foundational front line to allow our back line to deal damage and kill the content. You can also fulfill that same role with someone like Bakshi. Bakshi is a phenomenally good cavalry hero if you do pair him up with, as a deputy slot, someone like Indis. This amount of healing and AoE healing that you do in the PvE content like the Dragon Trials allows you to push the content considerably well compared to other players. So this is again another match that you could do. So by picking, for example, a Bakshi and a Madeline as our 2 front lines, now we have our 3 DPS or backline options to pick. And this is always down to you. If you have more archer heroes or mage heroes, depending on what you've done this season, obviously that is going to determine what you're going to pick. So for me, I picked my Nico. I also picked Fraegar this season because I got her at 5/1/1/1, and then we've obviously invested into her more. I also used my Lilia. So these are my 3 DPS primaries, and what we do is use those 5 heroes now to kill, as we said, the patrols at levels 1 to 10 and get them to level 20. And by getting them to level 20, then you're going to be able to pair them up with your secondary heroes. So for me, I used a Valen secondary to Lilia. I used Nika secondary to my Madeline. I used Emrys to the Bakshi, and then I also used Gwendoline for my Nico and Craig for my Fraegar. So I have a clear idea and plan on what units I'm going to be focusing on, and by having that main focus, what it allows you to do is, when you go into that new season, kill the patrols, level up the heroes, and any XP books that you get, you would always put onto your damage marches first, so you're able to deal more DPS and clear the content while your tanks are obviously fulfilling it. So as you can see, that is the way we have got it set up and how we always prepare for the season. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It is a jam-packed season preparation video with loads of different tips and tricks to do with reset, to do with CP abusing. Like we said, wait and hold off before you buy your CPX. Obviously it's going to disappear, but if you wait, you can obviously get that 1.5k before the or well, should I say after the season reset occurs. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Smash the like, comment, and subscribe if you've learned something today and if you found it informative. My name is MrSneakyy. We're here streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays every single day for you, trying to give you guys all the tips and tricks and answer any questions that you need to do with Call of Dragons. And that is it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you everyone who's made it to the end. You guys are amazing. If you're looking for like a Discord, the Discord is located in the description, as well as any other social links that to support me. And if you want to add any additional support, you can hit the join button, and that is a nice little paid subscription fee like a Netflix subscription, and it will support the channel further and give you better quality content. So with all that said, stay safe, stay sneaky, and until the next video, guys, peace out.